welcome to It's Happening in Grand Prairie. I'm Georgia Clemson, and we have a wonderful show for you today. And we're going to start out with a fabulous guest. We have Linda Ellis, who is the superintendent of schools in Grand Prairie. Welcome.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. It's a pleasure.
Of course. And Linda, we know there's always something exciting happening with the schools in Grand Prairie. We're so proud of all the things that you're doing, and we want our viewers to hear about it too.
Okay, great.
So get us started.
All right. I'm going to jump ahead a little bit to March the 4th. March the 4th is when all of our community, parents, all of our students get to do their school shopping event. We're having it. We're going back to face-to-face. We're having it at Dubisky Career High School, and it's on March the 4th. On March the 4th, all of our schools will be represented. We'll be able to talk about all of our programs and schools of choice. And we're going to have a lot of fun for kids. We're going to have a lot of fun for parents. We're going to have a lot of entertainment. So I look forward to our community coming out and shopping for the absolute best choice for your child.
I love that you have choices now. Back in my day, of course, we went wherever we were told to go. Mm-hmm. And that wasn't bad back then, but now you have given them so many more opportunities.
This is our 12th year, and so this was one of those things that was the vision of Susan Simpson. And, you know, she proved to be exactly right, that when parents and with students have choice, they're more engaged, they're more involved in their school. And it's proved to be successful, and so we're in our 12th year of it and looking forward to a great event on March the 4th. It begins at 9 o'clock, and we'll be there until 12.
And Linda, how many schools do we have in Grand Prairie that they could choose from?
We have 41 schools, and then in a few schools we have programs of choice within a school.
Oh, wow. That is amazing. And just for facts and figures, how many teachers and how many students do we have?
We have just over 27,000 students, and we have just over 3,800 employees. About 1,800 of those are actually teaching staff.
Wow, that's amazing. And there's a lot of talk going on about teachers and teacher salaries nowadays.
I'm appreciative of any conversation that considers paying our teachers more. Yes. We ask our teachers to do a whole lot. We ask them to actually do jobs. We ask them to prepare a lesson for children, and then we ask them to deliver it. So I was very pleased when I saw that there was legislative talk on the front page of the newspaper about increasing teacher salaries.
Yes, that's encouraging in itself that they're talking about it.
Yes, it is. Let's talk.
Yes, we love our teachers, and we want them to know we appreciate them as well.
Absolutely.
Now, what else is going to happen? We're going to have the choice shopping.
Yes. We also have a great event coming up on February the 10th, and it's going to be at the Education Center. It is put on from Lifeline, which is such a supporter of, we have so many partnerships that benefit our children and our families. That day at the Education Center, we have a Soups On for Love. And we have so many community partners that will be there. We'll have a contest with soup, and all proceeds go to Lifeline, which in turn supports our families.
Yes, supports the families in need. And we appreciate your support through Lifeline. The school district has always been very supportive, especially since Dr. Hull. And you're going to be our president-elect, and we're excited about that as well at Lifeline.
Thank you, and I'm honored to be in that position because just as it was so important to Susan Simpson, it is important to me, and I'm grateful for the people that pour in time and energy and so much into making things easier for our families and accommodating our families in need. And we know that that is always going to be the case. There are always going to be people that fall on hard times and for whatever reason need some assistance. And the fact that we have so many people who are willing to give their time and recognize that we want better for all. And so when I got the phone call to be an officer on the board, I was so honored, and I know that Susan was honored that I got the phone call as well.
Oh, yes. And so we look forward to seeing anyone who would like to come, and they can make a donation, just a love offering at the door, and taste all those delicious soups.
It's always a great, fun event. I mean, it's just fun. So
it is.
I look forward to it.
There's always electricity in the room because everyone's so glad to be back together. And speaking of being back together, tell us about your plans for graduation this year.
Thank you for bringing that up. we're going back to our tradition of a conventional high school graduation. So most of our schools will be back at Texas Trust this year, where we will continue the longstanding tradition of having graduation there. We have numerous graduations. Some will take place at our school theaters, but our large high school graduations will be back at Texas Trust. And so we enjoyed those days, and we were fortunate to be able to have graduation in an outdoor environment. Since that's no longer necessary, thank goodness, we're looking forward to go back to the traditional graduation.
Yes, that's such a special event for the students and the families as well.
Yes.
So that's exciting.
Thank you.
Now, another concern I know of the public is the safety of our public schools.
Yes. And we recognize that while academics is what we do, that is what we stand for, but there are no academics until our children and our families feel like their children are safe at school. I'm very thankful for our partnership with Grand Prairie Police Department and our Emergency Management Department, and Dr. Vern Alexander, who for more than 40 years has had student safety and foremost every morning when he gets up. Dr. Alexander and I start speaking pretty early in the morning, and we speak until late in the evening, because both of us want to know our children got there, they were safe all day, and they got home safely. I'm thankful for the leadership of him and for our emergency director, Mr. Neil Samlin, and I can't say enough about the service of our Grand Prairie Police Department and their willingness to serve us in so many ways. It's not unlike many partnerships that we have, but when we talk about safety, they're such an important part of what we do.
Yes, and we're very proud of that partnership as well from the city. So we're grateful. Now, I want to ask one other thing about the experience.
The experience is going to be March the 4th at Dubisky Career High School. Again, all of our schools will be represented. Not only that, but our 30 pathways through our career and technology education. So we're looking forward to a lot of entertainment. We will have student groups performing, and then we're going to have just a lot of fun events throughout those hours in which we invite all of our families, not Grand Prairie and outside of Grand Prairie. If we have an opportunity to serve your child, come and shop and pick Grand Prairie ISD.
Oh, that sounds wonderful. So many great things to talk about today, and you know, we're looking forward to all of them. We appreciate the relationship we have with our schools and the city. You make our city better.
Thank you. That's our job. And thank you for allowing us to serve our children in Grand Prairie and this community.
Yes, and thank you for being with us today. God bless you and all of the administrators and students as well.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. And we'll be right back. Hey, Grand Prairie, have you heard about the big event? The big event is a day of citywide volunteerism. It brings together volunteers of all ages to do cleanups and fix-ups for residents who need the help. Grand Prairie is the first city to have a big event, which is based on similar efforts at Texas A&M and more than 100 colleges. It's a big day of helping that creates connections and celebrates unity in our community. If you'd like to learn more about the big event, visit gptx.org/big event. Welcome back. And we're excited to have our next two guests. You know, as I was thinking about Black History Month, I thought about these two beautiful ladies, Alexandria and Valeria Dave.
Oh, thank you, man. It's a pleasure.
It's so great to have you today.
I know.
We know you have rich history in Grand Prairie, Texas.
Yes.
And that's exciting to be able to share that. You all do many things in Grand Prairie, have lots of connections, but let's get started. What would you like to talk about first?
Well, let's talk about our grandfather, L.T. Dave Sr., and my grandmother, Betty Estelle Dave. And they were born in 1903. And they came to Grand Prairie in the late 40s. And I think that's when he got the tag of being one of the first black millionaires in Texas.
Black millionaires, is that what you said?
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, that's wonderful. What a great tag to have.
I know.
So that is rich history.
Yes. He moved to Dalworth, the community, and he purchased 199 acres. Then an easement came through, and then he had 177. We had 25 rent houses, so at one point in time, we had over 33% of owning Dalworth community, and that's a beautiful thing. And we had the opportunity to live there until 1985.
So you grew up in that community
Yes.
as well,
Yes.
on the farm or in another location?
No, on the farm. On the farm.
On the farm, and you had over 100 acres.
Yes.
That's amazing. That's a big job. That's a lot to take care of.
Yes, it is. But as a kid, it's fun.
Yes, yes. Get to
Yeah.
have animals and chickens and such.
And horses. I rode my horse down Sherman Street. Even though I was W.
Yes.
Robinson, I would ride my horse down there, and man, we just had a ball. I did. I don't know about Valerie. Did you have a ball?
I didn't because I got thrown from the horse. So
Oh, that was not your favorite
that was
memory.
Not my favorite memory. No. But I enjoyed the fresh air and being,
Of course.
the fresh air and being able to get outside and all. That was always fun.
Yes. Now tell us about, of course, he had the properties and the rental properties. What else did he do?
Oh, man. We had 4 barbecue places, mostly in Dallas. And then also he had real estate all over the Metroplex. So he did very well. I'm not sure about anything. It's just the barbecue place and the real estate.
Barbecue and a farm and real estate. What a
Yes.
great combination. That sounds good.
Yes, that's why we're a little thick.
I bet you inherited some good recipes as
Yes,
well.
we did. And you know what's so funny? We are not cookers. We cook well. But that's not, I think, just watching it, everything was homemade. You remember Grandmother Day would make things fresh.
Right.
Oh my God. And our great aunt across the street, and it's a church now, our great aunt stayed right there in Ethel.
And what church is that? now?
I don't know the name of the church,
But
Georgia,
it's right
but
there.
it's right,
Mhm.
right across
Yeah.
from where the farm used to be. It's a church now.
Oh,
Yeah.
that is exciting. Now, along with, tell me why you call it Dave's Legacy, and do you want to tell us about that?
Sure, we started
Valeria?
Dave's Legacy in 2016 to kind of honor our grandfather and the things that he's done for the community. Where my grandfather used to feed the community once a year. Also, he would have, I forgot to mention this, he also would have people be baptized on the property as well. And he would pay for voters' taxes so they could go out and vote.
Yeah.
So with that in mind, we started Dave's Legacy, and we've been able to feed the community. We help out with odd jobs, for people that need jobs. We help also take them out for doctor's appointments or to get their driver's license. And it's a wonderful nonprofit, and you can visit www.daveslegacy.org, and you can call, get in touch with us, and we can help you in any way possible. And also you can make a donation there as well, and we would appreciate it.
Yes, yes. And so Dave's Legacy, and you're carrying on the Dave Legacy,
Yes.
right?
Yes,
ma'am.
ma'am.
That
Yes,
is
ma'am.
so exciting.
Yeah.
I'm so proud of you both for doing that. That is
Thank you.
really wonderful. And Alexandria,
Yes.
one of my favorite dance teachers here today. She tried to teach me a few moves.
When we left Dalworth and I came back, I was still in Grand Prairie. But, we were having struggles with our inheritance, trying to get back our inheritance. Because I was kind of down about that.
Yes.
Because we've been fighting back
For
for
14
about
years.
14 years. So instead of looking at it on that side, I started seeing the kids in the community, and I was like, nothing was going on. And I said, dancing, when we took dance lessons, it cost quite a bit of money.
Oh, yes.
And I said, okay, I'm going to go in the community. I'm going to start a dance class with a low price. And I said, I'm going to just try it. You know what I mean? I'm just going to try it and see if it worked. And then it went from Dalworth Rec. Then they asked me to come to Charlie Taylor Rec. And now I'm at the Epic as well. So I'm in 3 locations, and I'm having just as much fun.
Oh,
Yeah.
I love it.
Thank
And
you.
that investment is going to pay big benefits for those kids.
Yes, yes. I mean, I teach them confidence. I just got certified for mental health for children and adults. So I teach them affirmations. We talk about problem solving. Oh, I mean, it's just a wonderful, and just to see them grow up and be
Yes.
productive citizens.
Yes.
I'm so proud of them.
Those are things that money can't buy.
No,
an
No, they can't.
investment in those children for their future.
Yeah, and you got to meet a couple of groups of them, and they
Yes.
just love you, and you came and spoke, and oh, that's a beautiful thing.
And they have gotten to perform at many exciting places, haven't they?
Man, all over Grand Prairie, and halftime for the Globetrotters. Remember that?
Twice.
We've done that twice.
Twice.
Isn't
Yeah.
that amazing?
Yes.
See, you're representing Grand Prairie in wonderful, positive ways.
Yes, yes, we're blessed.
Yes, we are blessed indeed. Let's see, we've talked about Dave's legacy and we've talked about A+. Is there anything else that we want to cover today? We have any upcoming events where they're going to perform where we could go see them?
Oh yes, A+ will be performing at Cinco de Mayo.
Woo!
Yeah. Oh man, they have so much fun down there. The food, the environment, the
Yes.
people. You know, and I love to share all cultures together. Because
Absolutely.
we're all God's people.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so I'm looking forward to that. My sister's always supported me and pushed me, and you know what I mean. You can do it, and I just love my sister.
Right.
Thank you. I love my sister too.
Yes.
Yes, well, I love both of you.
Yeah, I love
And
you
what I
too.
want to know, I know we've talked about your granddad.
Yes.
Your parents' names.
Oh, Valeria Dave. No, yeah, we got the same name. Valeria Dave and LT Dave. I know. No brainer.
That's easy. That's good.
No
Now, do you
brainer.
have any other siblings?
No,
No.
we
No.
don't.
No.
Just the
Us.
two fabulous sisters
Oh,
here
thank
in
you. We had
Grand
great
Prairie.
parents.
We did.
We had
Yes.
great parents and great support.
We are richly blessed, aren't we?
Yes, we
to
are.
have-
Your mother is fantastic. I got to meet your mother a couple of times.
Well,
Yeah, so you have a legacy of your own.
well, I'm thankful. I'm thankful. And I'm thankful that you came to share this with us today.
Oh,
thank
you.
you.
Thank you. We're going to keep blessing Grand Prairie and keep it thriving.
Absolutely. I love that. Thank you, and God bless you both.
Okay,
Yes,
thank
same to
you.
And we'll be right back.
Grand Prairie, it's time to bag the bag and grab the bin. The city is no longer collecting recycled items in plastic bags because plastic bags damage processing equipment. Instead, use your recycling bin to hold items for pickup. And remember, only glass bottles and jars, metal cans, and paper products are okay. For more information, please visit gptx.org/recycling.
Welcome back, and welcome to our next guest, Warren Landrum. Welcome to It's Happening.
Well, thank you very much, George. It's a pleasure to be here. Thanks.
Yes, Warren, you wear many hats for the city. I know that you're an author
Right.
extraordinaire, of course,
thank you.
and you are serving currently on the Parks Board,
That's correct.
and you've been on the Library Board as well, haven't you?
Yeah, I've been on a few boards with the city since I started. When we got here in 2006, my wife Carol and I got involved in the city. Actually, ran for politics, ran for city council at one point back in 2013. It's the same year that you got elected, as a matter of
Yes,
fact.
now that's an experience in itself,
Yes,
isn't it?
it was. Yes, it was. But I mean, I felt that I wanted to be involved in the city since we had, chosen to make this our home. So wanted to do everything I could to try to, make it better. And so along the way, I got involved in different boards. I was on Keep Grand Prairie Beautiful was the first board I was on. And I was working with Tammy was just a joy.
Yes.
And as you said, the library board, I wound up being chairman of there before I left. And that was a natural fit for me because of my affinity for books and education and reading and encouraging kids to read. So I really enjoyed my time there. And I was on P&Z, Planning and Zoning, for a while. And currently I'm on the Parks Board, as you said.
Yes.
Yeah.
And how did you end up in Grand Prairie? Just tell us briefly and we'll get to the meat of the story.
It's a great story, actually. I'm from Chicago, East Chicago, Indiana, which is right outside Chicago. I'm a Yankee.
Yes.
And so one year my cousin threw a Super Bowl party down here in he was living in Richardson.
Yes.
But I came down, when I got down here, it was about 60 degrees, and that was at the end of January. And when I had left Chicago, it was 35 below zero, so 100-degree swing, no brainer. I went home and packed, and 2 weeks later I was down here.
And that's the rest of the story. That's the reason you're here.
That's the exact
great.
reason I'm here, yeah.
It's a fabulous place. And tell us a little bit about your family.
Well, okay, my heart is my granddaughter right now, Mia, and she's who our whole life revolves around right now. She's 8 years old, and third grader. And I've got my wife, Carol, my one daughter, and we're just a typical family, just trying to make it. We're surrounded by, fortunately, a network of love, and I think that helps us in everything we do. We're undergirded by, a great support system. But and actually, my niece and nephew just moved here from Jamaica and were living with us. We wanted to get them started to get their education going. And so we started them in the community colleges here. One of them, Anika, my niece, just got her nursing degree, so she's an RN.
Oh, wow.
And O'Shane, my nephew, he's currently in school. He'll be finishing up in the fall semester. So just trying to promote the family there.
So how nice that you have your family
Yeah.
here with you in
Right.
Grand Prairie,
Yeah, it's a
or
blessing.
nearby.
It's
That's
because
great.
they're about a 2-minute drive. The granddaughter's about a 2-minute drive where we won't wind up picking her up from school, most days.
Right.
Yeah.
That's perfect. Now, Warren, you've used your skills as an author many times
Right.
and writing many books.
Right.
Now, tell us what the project is that is your challenge
Oh,
now.
wow. It's an exciting project. As you said, I've written about 10 books before and in different genres, poetry, travel, whatever, bio sports biography. But this one, the City of Grand Prairie's marketing director approached me and asked if I'd be interested in writing a book about the black perspective of the history of Grand Prairie. And I thought, wow, that would be very interesting, because, telling it from our point of view would be something that needs to be out there. So I was quite thrilled, and it's quite a challenge, as you said. I've already started. I've been going at it for about 6 weeks now, and just the research and all the things that I've found out already have sort of whetted my appetite for what's to come, because I'm going to be starting interviews with different people that have contributed throughout Grand Prairie's history, or that may know something of the the inside of living in the different neighborhoods, like Dalworth or places like that. So the interview section is going to be quite informative, and it's going to be quite a challenge. But I'm really looking forward to it, and I feel honored to have been chosen to bring that forward and put that out there, because it's a history that needs to be told.
It is,
Yeah.
and I love the fact that you're really carrying the torch, because I know that there is so much rich history, and I know that my mom Ruthie Jackson, had interviewed many of the Dalworth
Right.
community and the Bear Creek community
Right.
to get some of that rich history,
Right.
and I have been forwarding some of those
Yes,
to you.
and those have been very helpful. I've already started going through some of those, and I've already incorporated some of them into the book, and some give you, as you read and go through the different interviews, they'll give you leads as to some other people you may need to talk to. So it's just like putting a puzzle together, and but I enjoy making things come together like that. So it's right up my alley, but it's quite a challenge, but it's one that I said I'm looking forward to, and just learning more and more about the city, especially since we've chosen to make this our home again. It's interesting and challenging on both a professional level and a personal level, because coming from the North, for instance, I was born in '54, the same year that the Brown versus the Board of Education Supreme Court law was enacted, giving desegregating schools basically. And so I didn't grow up in a segregated environment as far as the schools. And people in Texas did. So I'm quite curious to talk to some of these people and get their insight and their views as to what what it was like growing up in a segregated school system, for instance, as one of the things I'll be hitting on during the course of my
Yes, and
investigations.
we've captured in Grand Prairie some of the history, like at the Randolph Reed Center. I think that's very interesting that we have so many wonderful photographs to enjoy there, and this is really just carrying on, as I said, carrying on the torch
Right,
of that
absolutely.
history.
And for sure, that's one of the places that's on my list to go over the Randolph Reed, because we will want to present as many of the as much photographic evidence as possible in conjunction with just telling the history, because history doesn't have to be boring, and that's one of the things that I've done in the past. I've written a book similar to this about my hometown, East Chicago, Indiana. It's called "Let's Go Home to Indiana Harbor: Reflections from Midtown America." So I had to do some of the same type of investigative work when I was putting that book together. So I've got sort of a little bit of a background in this, but I just had to put on my Dick Tracy hat and my sleuthing hat and just dig down and find
Yes.
the interviews and talk to the right people, or as many people as possible.
And have you been able to access someone from the historical organization to maybe assist you in some of this?
Not yet, but I know I'm talking to, because Bear Creek is part of the investigation
Yes.
as well. So I've got an appointment actually with one of the personnel over at the Bear Creek Center. Jackie Townsell, I think is what they call it, the Memorial Center, this weekend. So I'll be speaking with them. But for sure, the historical organization will be on the list. And as I said, it's a process. It's probably going to be about 6 or 7 months at least. I foresee of work before we actually get to the point where we're ready for publication. But it's very enlightening.
So 6 or 7 months, it'll take you a long time just to go through all those videos.
Yeah.
And I know that you're going to do a fabulous job for us.
Thanks
and
for
I'm
your confidence.
looking forward to the finished project. Is there anything else you want to tell us before we sign off?
No, again, just that, we chose to make Grand Prairie our home. It's a wonderful community, I think. And what attracted me to Grand Prairie mostly was the family feel that it has. Even though it's a town of over 200,000 people now, it still has that small town feel. And I guess because of the neighborhoods, some of the neighborhoods, and just the people that I've met have all been, warm and friendly and open. And that's why we chose to make it our home. So again, I'm just glad to be here and glad to be able to do anything I can to promote and put out as much information as we can about our perspective on Grand Prairie.
Warren, I'm so glad you came to Grand Prairie,
Oh, well, me
and
too.
your family as well, and we thank you for all the contributions that you have made to make Grand Prairie a better place.
Well, thank you, Georgia, and thank you for having me here today. I really
Yes,
appreciate it.
and we look forward to the book.
Great, thank you.
And thank you for joining us. I'm Georgia Clemson reminding you as always, it's happening in Grand Prairie.